We've all been there. It's 2 a.m., you just finished the last page of your book, closed the cover, and now you're wrecked. Or elated, shocked, frustrated, distraught, or maybe a combination of so many emotions you can't put a name to what you're feeling.
But there's an ache in your chest, and all you want to do is turn to someone who knows what you just went through, who you can talk about that favorite scene with, swap theories about the sequel, gush over the hottie your main character landed.
You might try to explain it to your significant other, suggest the book to a colleague, or swap a couple surface-level thoughts with a friend who read it years ago. But there's no one who truly gets it. No one who will tear each moment apart with you, put it all back together, and start the next great read by your side. But what if we told you that now there's someone who will?
I'm Brooke.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Elena.
And we're the High Ladies of the Book Court. Let's read your next favorite book together.
Hi, everyone. We're so excited to start Fourth Wing. There's been a lot of hype over this, and we're finally tackling this.
Like so much hype that now I have to almost stay off Instagram. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm so excited for you guys to read this. This episode we're doing chapters 1 through 9. Should we just start? First impressions. Let's just dive in.
Because for like the first time ever, I didn't finish the chapters like 5 minutes before this, and I have been dying to discuss these first 9 chapters.
All right, what were your thoughts like before starting? Like, what did you know before reading this? Like, any hints what it was about? What the tropes were?
I knew that there were dragons and that they would be ridden, and that was it.
I knew that it was enemies to lovers, I'm pretty sure. I guess I can't say I know. Okay, Brooke, you definitely knew that too.
I've surmised. I think like chapter 2, I was like, yes, we're here.
Oh, and I forgot to say, Brooke and Elena have not read this, but I read this, and I apologize for reading it without you guys.
We did talk for a really long time about all 3 of us like finally reading a book together for the first time, and then Jamie was a really good friend and read it with someone else who needed a buddy. So I mean, like, can't even be upset. Yeah. And this is great because then you were able to break it up into sections, and
I can come up with these amazing questions for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so excited to hear and see your theories and thoughts. It's gonna be a great time. For me, all I knew was like it was being blown up all over social media, all over Bookstagram, and I saw a lot of fan art, and they were beautiful, and I saw dragons, and I knew I had to read this. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've already read Throne of Glass, which I don't think it's a secret that like there's a dragon in there, and we all love the dragon. So we were like, oh yeah, a book that has a lot of dragons. Let's do it. More dragons.
More. Give us more. And I gotta say, I don't think this will disappoint in dragons.
Yeah. I tried not to be like, I didn't want to go into it not wanting to like it because of how hyped it was. I was just like, I'm just gonna read this book and see how I feel. And already 9 chapters in, I'm like, when do I get to read more of this book? Yeah.
Why don't we start off with one of the first themes, which is like, or one of the first challenges, is the parapet scene. I don't know about you guys, but I was like nervous, even though I knew like she had to make it. She being Violet. What were your thoughts going through that scene?
Jack kind of sucks.
Kinda.
No, he does.
Jack sucks.
Jack really sucks.
I don't know if I really had that many thoughts other than it's kind of dumb to make them go up and over this parapet. It doesn't seem to have a real purpose other than murdering a bunch of kids or Like, teens imagine or wearing the however wrong old they shoes are. to this.
I do understand like the explanation given, which is like if you can't do this, then you can't ride on the back of a dragon and like fight in a battle on the back of a dragon. And I was like, I get that, but also, do we have to test that on day one, like right now?
Also, do we have to test that in a you either live or die situation? Like, can't they
Right,
fall off and then, okay, now you guys can go be scribes or whatever
right.
the other options are? Or like, just murdering them seems a little extra. Not
Yeah.
murder, but like
Already
a
in the
waste
first 9
of
chapters, I've formed some opinions about this culture. So I will say that the fact that they're like just okay with killing a bunch of people checks out to me. I don't love it, but I think it's gonna line up with other things we're probably gonna learn at some point.
right. I Like,
Yeah.
also they could have gone to the infantry quadrant or some
Right,
other, other ones that would be useful for the war effort.
right.
Elena, what were you gonna
I
say?
Oh, I was gonna say I kind of had a few Crescent City moments where like I'm just felt like a lot of information was thrown at me. Like these are all the different like yeah, I'm not spoiling
I
things.
just saw my time flash before my eyes. I was like, how much video editing am I going to have to do? You're fine,
I
keep
was
going.
starting to get worried, like, where was this going? Is Brooke gonna have to cut?
This is
No,
fine.
just like a
Yeah.
lot of different information is being thrown at you. Like this is our society. Like these are the different sects. Like these are the different districts, and from this district people volunteer, and from this district people don't volunteer, and like this district had a rebellion, and I'm like, I just can't keep up with all the information that's being dumped on me at different points.
I did a lot of flipping back and forth to like keep looking at the maps because there's like one of the college and also one of like the
Yeah.
continent or island or whatever it is. And yeah, it was like, okay, wait, this is here, and right, this quadrant's over here, and like, oh, look, the parapet. It's small and dangerous and thin.
Yeah. I never looked back at the map once, and
Ugh.
also I was on the plane, so I couldn't like highlight or write. So the important parts I dog tagged just
Oh, you
so I would
what?
remember.
You what? Oh,
I
oh, no,
Oh,
no.
Elena.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna forget you said that. Yeah. I will
You're gonna
say
put that part?
no. I mean, no. I think everybody should know that you're a monster.
If you could tell by our reactions.
Oh, shivers.
What is that, chaotic evil or something
Yes,
like
that
that?
No,
is.
What
I
is
think.
chaotic
yeah.
neutral.
No, I think
I'm
that's
not
chaotic
chaotic
evil.
evil.
Everybody, let us know where you think that falls on the quadrant. But I think it's chaotic evil. I will say for me, I also knew Violet was not going to die. Like there was no question in my mind she was making it across. I also knew it wouldn't be easy. Like the minute she's like, "Oh no, and it's raining," I was like, "Girl, you mentioned that it's harder in the rain earlier, and I knew it was going to rain when you got up there." Like, I mean, do you not realize you're in a book? Um, but I personally am very afraid of heights. So just reading this scene for me was like, oh my goodness, my palms are sweating. Like I almost don't want to even hold on to the book right now. And I just kept trying to tell myself, there's no way she dies. And I was like, yeah, but a lot of other people are. And I would have died 1,000%. Like would have been entirely in the scribe quadrant, no questions asked. I don't even care how cool dragons are. I'm not going to ride one ever because I will die before I get to that point.
Same. Brooke, we would be Dylan in this scenario.
Yes. The minute we learned oh my goodness, Rhiannon, how do we pronounce her name?
Rhiannon.
Rhiannon. The minute we learned Rhiannon's full name and then that the other guy's was just Dylan, I was like, oh, rest in peace, Dylan. No last name, buddy.
Good
Bye-bye.
catch.
Oh, but it was still hard. It was still sad. I was like, oh no, Dylan.
No, yeah. And then Jack Barlow, not a fan. Immediately, not a fan.
Again, why do we
Immediately
allow people to
dislike.
be like that? Like, why are we condoning that? Just rampant murder. Rampant murder.
Yeah. I don't like that it's a rule or like it's not frowned upon to like murder someone if you think that this person is breaking down your,
Yeah.
you know, group or whatever.
Yeah.
If only we could do that in school when we had like a team project and you did like the majority work of that project.
Just off the other people.
Yeah. You're bringing us down. I will not accept an F for this.
Yeah. I love how I know that all three of us were definitely the people doing all of the work in the group. Oh, type A personalities.
I did like when Violet was on the parapet that she was kind of like reciting her history, and that helped us be more immersive in this world building. I thought was really cool.
Such a creative way to give us all of the information about where things are and this war that has happened. I had to keep because again, I'm like palm sweating. I am on that parapet with her. And I had to keep being like, Brooke, you need to reread those 3 sentences because you didn't take it in at all because you're doing deep breathing exercises and they're trying to give you information. But yeah, I loved that. It's just a cool thing about her personality too. I really liked, and like this is going further into what we read, but I really liked how she's so knowledgeable in like strategy and just like is very book smart and
Yeah.
intelligent. And it's like, yeah, she hasn't been fighting her whole life like most of these other kids have. So like she's going to have to learn that stuff. But just like in that first battle brief meeting, she just like was on it. Like she's just very good at the strategic thinking.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Like she
And then-
doesn't, and she talks. Oh, sorry, Elena, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I really liked, I forget which professor it is that's like, I knew both of your siblings and you're the smartest out of both of them. And
That was so
I love
nice.
that. I also forgot which professor it was.
Yeah. I think it was like the comment of like he probably gets a lot of like the jock types, which like, you know, have their own like really cool skills, but like maybe
I
don't
think
think
it-
as critically.
Yeah, I think it was the professor that can like project the dragons
Mhm.
That
in
was
class.
cool.
That was very cool.
Weird random black dragon that has never chosen another rider for years.
Could
We got
not,
some theories on that.
definitely never gonna see that dragon ever again.
Definitely not gonna come up.
I think it was Professor Devera. I think that was the
Your guess is as good as mine.
There have been like a few professors, I think like 4 or 5 now at this point, and I also have not committed any of their memories to name, except for like the nice scribe professor, and I just remember that his name starts with M. He's very sweet.
Oh, there's a Melgren. There's a
He's like
Gibbons.
Melgren is like the one that has the other black dragon that can like help him
Oh, that can like
predict the outcome of
foresee.
battles.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I wonder, did I write that down? I did not. I will now.
Melgren, outcome of battles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do need to commit them to memory, but I was like, this is fine. I'll remember at some point.
Did you guys get like a good sense about um like Violet's illness or disease?
Kind of. I feel like we haven't been told everything about it yet.
I felt
Yeah,
like it
definitely
wasn't. Yeah, it was not. It wasn't like in your face, but like she made a lot of comments at how she's gone through it before, like breaking bones numerous times. That she had an illness that like changed her hair. But it never really gave like a name to it.
It sounded like she was born with it, or like it happened soon after she was born. But yeah, that like her hair basically goes from like the like light brown that it is to like that like gray color.
Yeah.
Which so cool. And
I
that
think it's badass.
yeah, and that her bones are like super brittle. I also loved about her hair that because they were like, "Oh, you should cut your hair," and she's like, "No matter how short I cut it, it still like has that variegated look, no matter what."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, girl, you got powers. Can't wait to find out what they are.
Keep them braided.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we just dive into like the characters?
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
should we just start with
I don't know. Do we go with white bread or the cinnamon bun first? I'm not sure which one I want to start with.
Wait, who is white bread versus who is the cinnamon bun? I'm so
Elena?
confused.
You tell us.
If
Tell
you-
us what you think.
Yeah, Elena, if you don't know the answer to that, I don't know if you read the right 9 chapters. Are you reading the right book? I'm waiting.
Like, I'm assuming Dane is white bread. But, like, there's not really a cinnamon bun character. There's not, like, a cute and cuddly character.
Oh, sorry, I was just going for super tasty snack. But yeah, you're right.
Okay, there's a super tasty snack. I don't think he's a cinnamon bun.
He's more of like a flourless chocolate cake. Like very dark and fudgy.
These are great.
With like a
I
raspberry
give
ganache.
that to you over cinnamon bun.
Okay. You're right. I just got excited about tasty snacks.
Yeah. Can we start with white bread? Because Dane needs to chill. Like, he's being like he could be such a good character. Like, he could be so supportive and like such a good friend to her, but instead he's just constantly belittling her.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved how in the first chapter it's literally like, "Oh right, I need to immediately find my friend Dane, who I might have had a crush on before he went off to the Riders Quadrant." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then the minute we get up to the top of the like the parapet thing and she's like, "Who is that tasty snack?" And I'm like, "And we found him, and his name is not Dane."
I also feel like there's some unspoken beef between white bread and chocolate cake. Like, the
Yeah.
way Xaden is glaring at Dane when he is fighting with her. I'm like, what is the backstory here? Because there is one and we don't know it yet.
We don't
I
know it
did
yet.
note that it was a different type of glare that
Yes.
he gives her compared to Dane Atos.
Yeah. Yeah, Xaden clearly does not like Dane. Like Xaden clearly like glares at everyone, but like there's a specific glare for Dane. And I'm like, I
Mhm.
mean, I've got my theories about why they do not get along, but there's clearly a difference.
What are your theories? Because I feel like Violet goes in specifically assuming that Xaden's gonna hate her because of like the beef between her mom and his dead dad. And then Dane's parents are close with her mom, also in the army? Question mark. So like, I feel like his parents could somehow be. I don't know. It's just weird to me that Xaden doesn't seem to have issues with Violet, just even though all that happened, but he has issues with Dane. So it just feels like there's part of the story we don't know in that history potentially.
Yeah.
That's a really good catch because I had noticed that everyone keeps telling her that Xaden wants to kill her, but he has never actually said those words. Like, I will kill you. He jokes about it. Like, oh, I don't want to have to kill you. The parapet will, like something like that.
Yeah, and like he claims her as like his, not like as his.
Oh, you mean
which,
when he said, "I'll handle her"?
yeah, he's basically like, she's my problem. Like I will
She's
handle her.
mine to handle.
Yes, yes, and handle her. I'm sure he will. But yeah, I didn't really notice that he hasn't said out loud that he didn't want to kill her, but that checks out now that I'm like thinking back. But yeah, I mean, she just went in with this, like, people that she trusts telling her that, like, he will want to kill you, so just stay away from him because, like, he totally can while you're there. So I understand, like, trusting Mira, who seems great. Myra, I don't know.
Mira, yeah.
Mira. So, like, if my big sister Mira was telling me, like, that guy will kill you, I would listen to her, no problem.
Poor Violet. People want to kill her because of her weakness, because she's weak, or because of she's the daughter of General Thorngale, who this is like another plot point that she is to blame for killing the parents of these separate rebellious children, and then also having them be what is the term, enlisted
Mm.
into the Riders Quadrant.
Yeah, they were all forced to go into the Riders Quadrant too.
That's
Because
so stupid.
right. I mean, like,
Yeah.
obviously it's like the I hope they all die crossing the parapet solution, but it's
But
like now
then you
you've
have
got
Aiden, who
yeah.
is like so powerful. I mean, should we just keep listing like why we're on Team Zayden at this point, or
I mean, I was sold the minute it was like, oh my God, I want to jump his bones. What's his name? Oh no, he's the guy that might kill me. I'm like, oh yeah, honey, like he's definitely gonna kill you. Be careful of his knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and got shadow powers? Like, I
Oh,
mean, do we remember that scene where
another
the
shadow
shadows
daddy.
takes the knives? Yeah,
Hot.
and
What if
the sparring scene. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but like
It's
that sparring scene,
it's okay. Haven't been able to stop
and
thinking about it since I read it 2 days
yeah,
ago.
right.
Oh my God. But okay, so like really, other than like I'll wipe the drool off of my face. The biggest reason that it's like Xaden is clearly at least better than Dane is that it is so obvious 9 chapters in, and like Xaden says this is like I'm training her, like he is trying to help her not die in this
Right.
place. Whereas Dane just keeps being like, maybe I can like wrap you in a rug and take you to the scribe quadrant. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I support Violet if she wants to go to the scribe quadrant. There's no way that's ever going to happen. But like asking once is totally fine because Dane knew her before being like, hey, I know that's what you wanted. Do you want me to help you? But when she's like, no, I'm going to stick it out here. Listen to the woman. Listen, Dane. Use your ears. Oh my God.
We're talking to a toddler from my experience.
Really though, like, and I don't want to exaggerate, but it's been at least 3, if not 4 times now. And
It's been more than once, which is too many.
yes, and this last time he's like, I talked to the Professor M and he's going to take you. Let's go. And it's like, my guy, you are not listening. And I have my theories about his ulterior motives because there have to be some, Dane.
there are? I think he just cares about. What do you mean ulterior motive?
I would love to hear this. No. And you know what? I'm gonna wipe that face from my face because I do realize I think I've already gone down a rabbit hole. And if we end up here at the end of this book, I will be proud and elated.
I
But
want to know.
I've probably gone too far. So Elena, you tell us how you feel about Dane.
Wait,
just-
Elena, you are Team Zayden, right?
I mean,
Or you're not
Okay.
sure yet.
There was a pause.
there's a pause, but I don't know if I'm allowed to say the pause or if Brooke will get mad at me.
No, that pause is staying. Continue.
No, I just feel like I've heard a lot of things about how people think Zayden's gonna be a Tamlin. So I'm just on edge about Zayden.
Who's
I'm gonna let
Tamlin?
it pass because we're not gonna say what that's from, so it's not a spoiler. You think that Xaden is
sorry.
not the right person for Violet?
I feel like I've
Your
heard
choice of
there's
words.
like 5 more books. Is that
Oh.
however many more books there are, and that it's really early for her to like settle down with the male main character.
That's fair.
So I'm just keeping Xaden at an arm's length with the understanding that seems like there's a lot of deaths in this world. So it seems
No.
like a lot could happen in the next 5 to 6 books.
I think that's totally fair, Elena. And like now that I'm thinking about it, like I took a deep breath. I'm fine. Like I'm over my shock at your immediate your pause and not immediately being able to say that you were on Team Xaden. I do agree that like they both seem obvious for different reasons.
Yeah, and when I say I'm not necessarily like full Team Xaden yet, I'm not saying I'm Team Dane because I'm not
Team Dane, but we are 9 chapters into a 6-7 book series, so
Totally fair.
I have there's got to be people we haven't met yet.
Like, or maybe
Like-
Jack like stops being a serial killer and like, Team Jack Barlow.
Doubt.
Oh man.
So no, but I just don't think Dane has ulterior motives. Like I think he's like oh my god, he's a Gale to me. He's just a big dumb idiot who thinks he's doing the best thing. Am I allowed to make references to other characters like that? Or is
You
that
know what?
also bad?
We're just not gonna like discuss what these characters are from, just in case. But Gale is more acceptable, I think. But because I also immediately when she was like, "Oh, like the boy I grew up with back home that like I used to swim in the lake with as a child, and I kind of had a crush on." I was like, "Okay, we found Gale," and then we got to the parapet, and I was like, "And Peeta's here too." Like I found him. He's a lot darker in this book, though, which I appreciate.
Maybe in a different world where first loves are an acceptable trope.
First loves need to just listen better and like just be better people, like and grow into good adults. And I guess
maybe
no,
maybe
go ahead.
Maybe he has good intentions, but what ulterior motives do you think he has, bro?
That's what I was going to say. I think there's an equally likely option that Dane is just like totally clueless and just like way too possessive of this girl who he obviously has feelings for. Like whether like it all works out and it's just like sister, brother, best friend type stuff, or like he realizes he has feelings for her, whatever they may be. It's just, it seems like he's being extremely persistent about getting Violet out of the Writer's Quadrant. And like I recognize that the Writer's Quadrant is very cutthroat and like constantly talking about how if you feel like someone is going to take down your wing and or if you feel like someone is competition, it's totally okay to get rid of them. And it's like maybe there are other ways to get rid of people other than killing them. And I just have this thought in the back of my mind where it's like maybe Dane is not underestimating her. Maybe Dane realizes how powerful Violet can and will be and is trying to get her out of being his own competition in a way that doesn't murder her. That's all. I just feel like he's being too persistent to just be stupid.
Or he could be stupid.
Or he's just too stupid.
Which is totally possible. But like that's a really interesting take, Brooke.
Yeah, I
That
don't know.
is an interesting take. I don't think I can get on that train. I think it's more likely, if anything, he's on the you can get rid of people if you think they're going to bring down your squad, and he thinks she's going to bring down his squad, so he's trying to get rid of her. For like, if it's going to be a self-serving purpose, it's not because he thinks she's going to beat him. It's like he thinks she's going to bring down his squad.
Yeah, that's fair. And maybe and like similar but like different type of motive.
I do think
because they grew. Oh, what do you?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think he's going to go absolutely bananas when she starts hanging out with chocolate fudge cake in public. Like, he's going to go from best friend to trying to kill her real quick.
1,000%.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I think because he had grown up with her, he had probably witnessed all the times that she had broken her bones, gotten injured, the time it takes to heal. It could possibly be that he's, just really looking out for her, that he cares about her and just wants her safe. I don't agree with how he's doing it, how persistent he is. But like compared to the bad boy.
Yeah.
And he seems like a really massive rule follower too, which is I don't know. It's just not my type.
It's boring.
Yeah.
Like Xaden is in the woods.
Line.
Oh no, go ahead, Elena. What line?
Oh, I was just gonna say there was a weird line where she was like, my best friend Dane really loves following rules.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like a weird thing to specify.
Well, and that it seemed like she was similar up until
Mhm.
she spies on Xaden and his like group of other rebel children or like rebels children
Mhm.
in the woods, and like she recognizes that like they're literally doing the same thing that everybody else would be doing and just like talking to the people that are from the same place that they are and like
Mhm.
making sure that they're doing all right and like trying to help tutor them. Like they're not talking about let's overthrow the government. It's like they're clearly just like looking out for each other. And she makes the conscious decision not to tell Dane. She's like, this is actually illegal, but I don't think they're doing anything wrong. And if I tell someone, they'll die. They're gonna get executed. So yeah, she like draws a line in the sand, but it's clearly hard for her.
Yeah. Like Violet doesn't want to kill anyone. It's part of the reason why she took on foraging and doing the whole like that poison strategy. She
Love
doesn't want
that.
to, unalive anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like maybe if they deserve like I feel like she could have it in her. I think it was her using her brain and like trying to figure out ways to also not die herself, like realizing that she's working on it, but she's still not super strong in hand-to-hand combat.
But she's trying, especially in the hand-to-hand combat. I would
Oh
love
yeah.
to see more scenes like that.
I have to assume that there will be at least one because I love that Xaden seems to have like opened this door to like, hey, I will help you. Like, I want you to get better. So I'm hoping that that's like where we're gonna see it going. Is maybe she will reach out to him and say like, can you show me that thing again? Or like, do you mind getting together for like a little tutoring sesh or something? But I don't know. He's great.
They're, they're gonna get together at some point.
Oh, faux show. Even if she somehow ended up with someone else by the end of this series, like this is definitely happening. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm definitely Team Xaden at this point.
For sure, at this point.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I will
Any
also
other
say,
characters?
oh
Oh,
yeah,
sorry, go
I
ahead.
was gonna talk about it. This is gonna take me so long to figure out because like Rhiannon is how I've been saying it, but it's
I know.
Rhiannon,
Rhiannon. At least that's how it
Rhiannon,
is
Rhiannon,
in
Rhiannon.
the audiobook. Yeah.
Rhiannon, I am prepared to have her stab me and Violet in the back. But I'm just putting myself out there and I'm trusting her. Like I'm not looking for any like tendencies of backstabbiness. I am just trusting her fully because that scene on the parapet when Violet gave her other shoe, I was just like, "Oh my goodness, like this could be the friendship." Like there should be a friendship that we can trust. Like amongst everything else, there should
Absolutely.
be that friend.
That's Dane.
Maybe. And I might be looking for backstabbiness where there isn't any because I've just decided to like trust R
Rhiannon.
Rhiannon. I've decided to trust Rhiannon like wholeheartedly. But yeah, I really, really like her. I like how she's like
I
already
like her
hooking up with
feelings.
this girl that she's had a crush on like since day one. I'm like, yeah, get it, girl. And she just seems like really sweet, like offering Violet, like offering to get her bag and like helping
Yeah.
her like with hand to
Like
hand
they're looking
combat while
out
she
for
gets
each
tutored.
other.
Yeah, it's so sweet. I love it. Elena, do you also
Any
trust
other
her?
characters?
I don't have anything to add. I pretty much agree with you that I'm going along with trusting her
Mm,
right now. Because in all seriousness, I think if a friend is going to betray her, it will be Dane.
mm,
Um, unless we have multiple friends betraying her, which could happen.
yeah,
There are a
But
lot of
yeah, I feel like
characters.
yeah. Oh, Jamie, because you said there are a lot of, I think you said there are like a lot of people. There are like,
Hmm.
I love how Violet is like, oh, that person whose name I definitely forget, but maybe it starts with T. I was like, thank you, because
Yes.
that's exactly how I feel right now. I appreciate that.
So relatable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
we meet a
right.
lot of characters,
Yeah, we've got
like,
like
as,
Jack.
like, the first years, yep, Jack,
Yeah,
which
Riddick.
immediately we do not like.
No, he's
There's
definitely not.
Luca.
Who the heck is a Luca?
What's a Luca?
She is oh, well, how was she described? I think like a brunette. She was like the catty one that
Oh.
like always has something to say, like she talked back.
Hmm.
And I think it was something like Riddick said
Interesting.
something, and she was like, I don't know. It was a very, it's just like she was like a very catty character.
Oh, I do remember her name now because when I read Luca, I thought boy, and then they said her, and I was like, I
Mm,
like that. I think that's cool.
yeah,
Imogen, who's the one with the pink hair,
the
who
pink
was,
hair, yeah,
yep, she's also a child of a rebel.
yeah. And in
I
that
think
group,
they could
there's
be friends.
Derek.
Oh yeah.
You think so?
I hope so. I feel like it's gonna go one of two ways, and I'm rooting for friend.
It seems like
Twilight needs more
Imogen and
friends.
yeah, yeah, and it seems like Imogen and Xaden are close, or at least like, good friends. So I think that, once Violet and Xaden are together, like it only makes sense.
There's also Liam, Garrick, who's all like part of the separate, like the rebellious children,
Hmm.
and the guy that looks like Xaden's relative, Bodhi.
His cousin, yes, Bodhi. I remember that.
And Garrick's the one that didn't want to kill her, right? When all of them were like, "Let's kill
Yes,
her," and Garrick was like,
he,
"Chill, guys."
yeah, he was the one that was like, we're not the Navarre way, in which we punish the children of the parents. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. Sounds like these guys, like these children of rebels, are like better people than the people that are in charge of
yeah,
the
right.
country that we're currently in right now. Huh.
Well, and
It brings
they
me
haven't
back
said what
to
they rebelled against, right? Like we don't know what the
Hmm.
stances for the rebellion were, do we?
No, we don't, Elena. We don't know why they were rebelling against seemingly beautiful and prosperous and generous Navarre.
other than like what
When
territory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
um one in doubt, assume Brooke is in support of the rebels.
always. Almost always. I
So
just
then you think who's the bad guy? The bad
Navarre.
guys.
Oh, General Sorengale, 1,000,000%. I cannot wait until she gets taken down at 10 pegs, maybe dies.
Yeah.
So excited.
Did you guys catch in what's that called? Like the epigraph, right? Is that what it's called? Like the little section of before the chapter starts?
Oh, yeah, they've got those like little
Oh,
pieces of the
then
text above each
Yes.
chapter. I love
There
that.
was one.
mhm.
Here we go. Chapter 5.
Yep.
It goes, knowing I'm in direct disagreement with General Melgren's orders, I'm officially objecting to the plan set forth in today's briefing. It is not this general's opinion that the children of the rebellion's leaders should be forced to witness their parents' executions. No child should watch their parent put to death. The Tyrish Rebellion, an official brief for King Tory by General Lilith Thorngale. So that's Violet's mother. I feel like this just like contradicts her decision of putting the children in the writer's quadrant. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting because General Milgren can see, he's the one that can see the outcome of things, right? Like the outcome
Yeah.
of
Just
battles, and
battles.
he was like, they should see their parents die. So like it
Mhm.
makes me wonder if like he had a reason for wanting them to watch. I don't know.
Yeah, this one is
Or if
like
he's just a bad dude. I don't know him yet, so
It's all icky. Like the whole thing is
mhm.
icky. And automatically, like, I automatically side with rebels because it's just like there had to be a reason that your governing body made you so upset that you took the chance to die in order to do something about it. And like maybe I'm wrong because we still don't know what the whole rebellion was about. It just seems like we're getting these very like just these very pointed details about like, oh, it looks like the Griffins were looking for something in that random camp. Wonder what it was. And then like in the random grouping of rebels, they're like, yes, just keep repeating the things that they tell you to in battle brief. Like, don't talk about the thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like there is something here and I
So
need
many redactions.
right.
Yeah.
But like when the children of the rebels are clearly some of the best people, like morally, like they just seem like the better people currently. It just makes me wonder, like what was the rebellion about? I would like to make my own
hmm
decisions.
And for so many years too, right? I think it was like 400 years of keeping, or this 400-year long war between Navarre and Boromir. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, tier
Or
tier
dragons versus griffins, you know.
open the map. It's in here. Yeah, Paromial is how I was saying it, but I don't.
I forgot how the audiobook pronounces it, but I'm sure we're close.
But yeah, the Tirandor province is the one that rebels against the rest of Navarre. And the whole reason that
Mhm.
they were upset is because they knew that they couldn't win the war against Paromial, or however you pronounce it, without the Tirish. And I would like everybody to remember that they wouldn't win the war if it wasn't for the dragons. Like when it comes down to it, I'm really on the side
Right.
of the dragons.
That's good point. And the dragons just want to protect the veil.
Yes, like
Is
veil
that
above
on
all
here?
else. I don't know if it is.
I'm like, what? Where is the veil? Where all the dragons are?
That's a great question.
I actually don't know, Jamie.
It's
I'm
not
not
on
seeing it either.
here.
No. But I think somewhere in Navarre,
Right.
but I'm not sure. I don't think it's on here. But yeah, the dragons, it's been said a
Okay,
couple times
yeah,
that the dragons want to like protect the
we're on the
veil. So
dragon side.
yeah, it seems like the veil is in Navarre, so they're fighting with Navarre so that their veil is safe.
But it's also been said multiple times that like less and less dragons are fighting, like are joining with riders to protect the veil, which means
Mhm.
like either there aren't as many dragons or they're doing something else.
Or maybe they feel less inclined to help a certain side of the war for I don't know what reason. But
Right.
I did catch that, Elena, that it does seem very strange that fewer and fewer dragons, because it wasn't like, oh, fewer and fewer dragons are being born. It was fewer and fewer dragons are like interested in bonding with humans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited for the moment they're told they have to go to war early and the black dragon chooses her. I'm so excited for her to be about to die and the black dragon to save her.
Yeah, there's no way Black Dragon doesn't become Violet's dragon. And like the minute they were like, ooh, one of only two black dragons, and I was like, okay, so this is hers. But then the thing that really got me is that they talk about this dragon being very intelligent and like using his brain more than anything. And I was like, you guys are perfect. Like get together and talk about strategy and books and stuff.
Well, and then I feel like it's gonna be Black Dragon versus Black Dragon in the end, right? Like somehow the general is gonna be bad and she's gonna have to figure out how to like beat the guy that can figure out the answer to all battles.
I did have that thought too, where Melgren seems like if Sorengale is like redeemable, Melgren, I wonder how bad he really is. Yeah, I don't know.
Can we talk about signet powers?
Yes. We don't
So
have to
if
talk
you
about Shadow
think
Daddy for
that,
long if you don't want to.
I mean, if you think that Violet will have this black dragon, what do you think her signet power will be? Or and then if you want, we could we can just talk or run through what signet powers do exist. And also, channeling power sounds really cool. Like, what is this about? Like a bottomless ink pen? Like that sounds amazing.
Yeah, the like the little
Opening,
the little
closing
magic.
doors.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like I don't have to fill my pen with ink anymore. Like,
I
oh,
just
cool,
want a
Jane.
dragon now.
Yeah. We learned about shadow powers, obviously. That's what Xaden has. Dane said that his power is that he can see like the most recent memories of someone, which I thought was cool. And then I immediately wondered if he was telling the whole truth, but I think I'm just jaded at this point.
I feel
Um,
like he's telling the truth.
he probably is. But elemental powers, like they said, like water magic, fire magic, etc. Melgren's is that he can see the outcome of battles. The healing power, which I thought was really cool, that they said was very
Rare.
very rare. Thank you. Simple words my brain
R.I.P.
can't come up
Brennan.
with.
Yep, her
Right.
brother has the power of had the power of mending.
Mending, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was so sad to find out that he was like this super powerful healer, and that the black dragon that we all think that Violet will probably end up bonding, his previous writer was this guy who tried to like basically reanimate Brennan,
Yeah.
like with
He had the
his
power
power,
of what was I wrote down his name.
like fixing.
Nowlin?
Yeah,
Siphoning.
siphoning.
Brooke, did the explanation for why he tried to do that ring super hollow to you? Like
Oh,
he tried to save him just because he's a Soaring Gale who really knows.
oh yeah. No, they were in love. And like when we find out that they were in love and I see like their love letters, I will cry. Like I was already pre-crushed. I was like, "Oh my god, the two of you were together." And he just like I just picture him like falling at his side and being like, "I will like burn out to try to and I was just like, "Oh god, no."
That would be really cute. I didn't actually catch that.
Oh, I totally think that they were together.
Oh, that makes it
Yeah.
even harder. Oh my god.
Right. And like I don't know if we're gonna find out like their true story in this book or if it's gonna be
Yeah.
like book 3 or what, but that's my
Did you
feeling
guys
is they loved each other.
Oh my god. Did you guys catch what Mira's power or Signet power was? She did talk about
No, her
someone that
mom's
can
is
make small
Storm.
things. Yeah, her mom is Storms. Mira's can't remember who I can't remember what hers was, but she did talk about someone that had like that can make small things big and vice versa.
Right. Yeah, that joke. Like they can make big things small and they can make small things big. And I'm like, oh, what are they making big,
Yeah.
Mira? I don't remember Mira's power if she said it, and it might just be that I'm not remembering it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
don't remember
recall.
Or
either.
Jamie's like, am I supposed to know this by the end of chapter 9 or not?
Well, I mean, I just yeah. Well, I was doing a mix of like audiobook and reading.
Mm.
Oh, actually, I read chapter and I was
Yeah.
one. So
You pulled an Elena and you went too far ahead.
no, actually, even like when I read, I honestly can't remember if what her powers was. Like
Yeah.
even like the mom, I was like, oh, I forgot about that.
I'm sure Violet's gonna end up with something super basic like water power. It's definitely not gonna be.
I don't know if that's possible though, Elena. And like, okay, there is a possible timeline in which she doesn't bond with this other black dragon, but like if she does, this black dragon has to have something powerful. And I know that they also said that it's not that like the dragon has the power and then like gives it to the human. It's like definitely a connection thing. So it has something to do with Violet too. So I don't think that the black dragon would give her the same power that he did to Brennan's boyfriend. Where I'm just
Mhm.
going to call him that because I can't remember what his name is. It begins
I
with an
love
N.
that.
Um, and I had a thought where I was like, it'd be really cool if she could like have Brennan's power, but I also think that that would be boring. So I wonder if it's like a healer but different, like she can put stuff back together, or oh,
I think she's gonna know things. Like I don't know what, but
yeah,
it's gonna be like something with knowledge. Like if
so,
it's
yeah,
for knowledge, like Melbourne's, and it's just not to do with battles, or if it's just like she becomes a computer. Who really knows?
well, and like they have mentioned twice now that like being able to read people's minds is totally taboo. They mention it like offhandedly in like chapter 1 or 2, and then it's mentioned
Yeah, I
again.
remember you.
I was like, oh, can't wait to see when people can read people's minds. So that was the other thing that
Honestly,
I thought about.
honestly, when I read that, I just assumed it was like a mom power thing. Like, you know how your parents are always like, you have eyes on the back of your head. Like that's just what I thought.
Yeah. So first I wondered if Dane was possibly lying about his power because he can read people's minds and he doesn't want to say it out loud to anyone because he realizes that it's like super illegal slash taboo. But then I also
Right,
had the
because
thought,
he has that patch that says he's like top secret, right?
yes.
The Yeah.
And they say that like his power alone, as he describes it, like being able to see even like the last few memories of someone's is already like very broken, like totally OP. But I just wonder.
We also haven't gotten a backstory on why there's such a big no-no around reading minds in this world where you
I
can have
can't
powers.
imagine. It's like maybe, I don't know, like the whole upper class of the military of Navarre is like keeping big secrets from the rest of Navarre and they don't want anyone to know. I don't know. I'm just throwing out a wild guess.
Great guesses.
Not sure. I've been
Hard to
wildly
tell.
wrong about many theories, so I'm okay going on record with this one. But yeah, I'm not really sure. And I'm okay for it to be a surprise and to be something just like really cool and awesome that we couldn't have guessed.
I
Mind
think it's
reading is a
safe to
good
say.
guess.
Oh, what was it, Elena?
Oh, I just said mind reading is a good guess. I hadn't thought of that, but
I was gonna say I think it's safe to say that Violet will probably stay if she's not gonna take Dane's advice, right? Like, sorry, scribe quadrant, you seem cool, but I don't want to be stuck in a basement and no windows.
Yeah. Or like,
I'll be
and
trying to
I don't
pick
know
a
if this is
dragon.
like I don't know if this is even like book two material, but maybe like making it so that you can do some of both. Like, why can't you
Oh, that'd be cool.
be like do scribe things, but also fly a dragon and like maybe not die in order to be able to fly a dragon? Like,
Right. It it baffles me when her mom was like, "No child of mine will be in the scribe quadrant." Yet she married a scribe, and just, like even Violet says, like, "I'm a daughter of a scribe, mom."
and that's
That'd
why
be
like
it
really
also
cool if she could do both.
go ahead,
it
Elena.
makes no sense to me why they're like the only people that can ride dragons have to be like really, really good at hand-to-hand combat because they're gonna be doing a lot of hand-to-hand combat from their dragon. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe she'll just like tumble off safely without any broken bones, and then have to do hand-to-hand combat. Or there's hand-to-hand combat on top of dragons. Who knows?
Mhm.
like her brother seems like he was a glorified, really good healer, but had to be really good at hand. Like, he couldn't just be a really good healer.
I do understand like, making sure that they're tough and even just because it seems like the dragons will not pick to bond with them if they don't deem them like capable and i.e. like strong and vicious, which I really just want to meet more dragons. Like I loved like kind of meeting it. You said it was Sigale,
The
the
Gale, yes,
blue
Satan's
Sigale.
dragon.
Yeah, Zayden's dragon. Immediately when they were just like big, fierce blue dragon, like landed on the wall, I was like, I love blue dragon. I don't know who blue dragon is, but maybe that will be Violet's dragon. And then when I found out it was Zayden's dragon, I was like, this makes sense. Already in love with Zayden. I will take both of them as a package deal. But like, I want to meet more dragons. Like, I want more like up close time with dragons. And it seemed like we're already, even at chapter 9, like very close to meeting dragons. So maybe it's just that in the next couple of chapters we meet dragons.
Right. So I
It
think
seems like
what's coming up.
oh, sorry. Tell us what's coming
No,
up,
it's okay.
Jamie.
No, don't.
So what's coming up next is like there's a series of, events. We have the conscription day. There's the gauntlet, which is kind of like an obstacle course, I guess, like
Yeah.
challenges. The presentation. Presentation is when they walk through, and then they get to meet the dragons, and dragons get to see them for, the first time, and then threshing.
Which I loved finally getting that description of threshing where they were like, threshing will be the moment where no one will really be able to tell or care if you were killed by a dragon or a human. And like that, I think it was Dane telling her that he needs to get her out before threshing because she won't survive. And I was like, Dane, do not tell my girl what she can and can't do. But also that sounds terrifying. So I totally understand.
It is. Yeah.
So maybe like Black Dragon swoops in and is like, intelligent snack. Like, let's talk over here.
But not actual snack.
No, just like picks her up real quick and is like,
Okay, I was gonna say, wait, Bane is a snack. Do you mean like actual snack, like eating?
Just like, oh, this is a cute human. Like, for some reason, it calls to me. I will pick it up and learn its ways.
Yeah, I think I trust the dragons more than I trust these human characters.
Yeah.
Especially because the Gale picked Satan. And he's like the strongest.
And I just wonder if the humans are misrepresenting them. Like, and maybe the dragons are just super bloodthirsty and are like, no, we will only take you if you are like violent and ready to make death. But I just wonder, if the humans are being a little like, just misrepresenty.
Yeah. I'm definitely like suspicious with a lot of the humans, especially the mom. Because I don't understand, like, why would she put her daughter through this? Knowing like she gets hurt, not that she's like, I mean, I hate to say this, like she's a liability, but you created this war college, like you have these set of expectations. Why put her through this? Even Mira was against it.
Mm-hmm.
Elena, what were you gonna say?
Devil's advocate, just like to play like there is a potential like that the mom knows things like big government secrets that we don't know and realizes that General is super evil and like realizes that there might come a moment where like the safest place for her daughter is with friend dragon. Like maybe she's trying to protect her and is just a bad mom and bad at saying that.
This is her way of doing it. Yeah.
Like I suppose there's a potential where this is her trying to do something in the best interest of her daughter and protect her.
I actually like that theory.
Yeah, I had that thought for a moment where I was like, okay, I don't love her. And maybe me saying that I hope that she dies eventually is too strong because I do see a way in which like she might just be putting on a facade and might actually be a good person. I will allow her that opportunity. But I did have the thought, especially when you were saying that, Elena, that like if I was gonna pick between Dane and her mom, like I actually would prefer her mom because I think that there is a possibility that she just trusted more in Violet than Violet did in herself. And I don't love that like if Violet really wanted to be a scribe, she should be able to be a scribe, but maybe her mom just realized that she's going to be amazing and she was like, "No, I'm not going to let you not take this chance. Like you've got to go do it." And so far she's done it. She's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's also there's still the chance her mom just kind of sucks, but
yeah,
like especially with the opening to chapter 5 we were talking about before, where it seems like there's a scenario in which her mom is not the worst, or at least has some kind of like moral compass.
Yeah, like even if she thought that the parents, like the actual rebels, needed to die, which I guess there's a world in which I could understand that. Like she at least was like, we don't need to make their kids watch. Like that's just unnecessarily cruel.
Also, they keep talking about a random king that has had no impact yet. Like in that thing, it references a king that she's talking to? Question mark.
Oh, and that epigraph thing.
Yeah, it says an official brief for King Tari. Like it's something she's giving to the king.
Yeah.
Who is the king? What is his impact?
Right.
King of Navarre, I guess. Like, yeah. Maybe he's the one we need to go like find and take down.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Violet referenced him when she was on the parapet or anything like that.
Oh, she
'Cause I don't.
definitely did.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that now. Like King of Navarre or something. And
Well,
like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but my
We'll have
hands
to
were
look
too
back.
sweaty. Yeah.
Isn't it concerning how like if General Sorengale isn't concerned about Violet, why is Dane her friend?
Right. Right.
Who is Dane's parents? Like, who are Dane's parents in this weird military hierarchy that we've gotten a good amount of background on?
They're in there somewhere.
I don't know. Yeah. What do you guys think will happen next? I mean, we kind of touched upon it, but any other theories?
I'm hoping we're getting to dragons soon. Like, I hope there isn't too much more between like now and dragon time. Yeah, I just
We
don't know
have to
when
be.
Violet's gonna get one.
There have been like 8 references about how they're gonna go to war early. So like,
Yeah.
if they don't go to war by like here in the book, I'm hoping so.
Like mid book. Yeah. Or at least
Yeah.
like out on some sort of mission. Like, oh, people are tied up over here with a thing and stuff that people can't find, but we're not gonna talk about what people are looking for, and we need you guys to go over here and like help out.
Yeah, what is that thing? Did we talk about that? What we think
No
that
idea.
thing is?
Well, I kind of mentioned it because that was like the weird thing that happened in Battle Brief, where Jamie, I think you said Xaden was the one, and I kind of remember that Xaden was the one that was like, "Oh, it kind of looks like the Griffins were looking for something," and I wonder if that was like
Right.
all Xaden would allow himself to say. It's like because it seems like Xaden and the rebels know what it was that the Griffins were looking for, and it's got
Right.
to be tied in with it.
And he also said that every one of the rebels were having trouble in the battle brief class. And he told them just stick with what information they give you, even though you might know something else.
Yeah, it's like that they don't know what they can say and what they can't say. And it's like you have to remember what the truth is and just repeat what they say. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what it is, but clearly there's some shit going down and I need to know.
Well, and there's something with the words too, right? Like we don't know anything about what the words are that they keep around their
Yes.
entire country and how they stay up, other than it's somehow connected to the dragons.
Yeah. Like the words are not being powered the way that they should be.
Hmm.
Which is why their country is circular.
Yeah, it's just very sus. And I don't know what it is specifically. I'm excited to find out. I just don't trust
Does anyone
Navarre.
should be suspicious of this city that's in the middle of the circle?
What is that?
What circle?
Yeah, what?
So the circle that is their country, because they said there was a comment about how their country is kind of circle shaped because the words
Oh,
go out kind of in a circle.
the border is
Um,
circular between
yeah,
Navarre and Peromil.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like
so
if you look at like what the circle would be,
Mm,
then Bosgiath is kind of in the middle.
that's where the college is, Elena.
Gaius?
Bosgiath, that's how I've been pronouncing it. Bosgiath is the name of the college.
I've been saying Gaius. That's how it's
Weird that it's in the
in
middle
the
of the circle.
audio.
Yeah, it's like we're creating a little Duracell battery, just zzz.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's something and I can't wait to find out.
It's her.
Yeah. And then I'm hoping that there's more like Xaden helping Violet because now they have like an understanding. Yeah, no, I mean like genuinely at first I really do hope that it is like Xaden just proving that he's not going to kill her. Like and maybe giving her some information and maybe the two of them kind of like realizing that like, okay, you're a person that I might be
Oh
sexually
god,
attracted to.
the sparring mat scene.
Yeah.
Forever in the brain.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, here's a question. Any theories on who's next on the death roll?
Oh.
Jack, 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 Jack.
The only answer, right?
I don't know if he's
Um,
gonna be like the big baddie forever, but he's gonna last longer. He's got to at least last 2 threshing. He might die at threshing.
yeah, I don't know. I think he'll die at threshing because I can't imagine him getting a dragon and continuing to be a baddie because it seems like there's other baddies to then worry about once she gets her dragon. But
He did say he wants the black dragon.
Yeah.
doubt, doubt.
Yeah. He's like, good luck, bud.
I'm a little bit. We're only in chapter 9, so I don't know like how open this author is to like serious character deaths yet. Like
Oh.
how willing she's going to be, because like Dylan was kind of a throwaway. Like who cares what happens to Dylan, who we met 2 pages ago?
His
But
fiance
if
cares,
she
okay?
is,
Oh God, that hurt. It really did
Yeah,
hurt.
it did.
Like,
yeah,
oh, we
like a
didn't want to
ring
get
on
married
her.
before. Like, oh, buddy.
Oh, it's bad
Yeah.
luck.
I'm worried about, I think his name is Sawyer. Is it Sawyer? Who's like the guy who like just didn't bond with the dragons. Now he's doing first year all over again.
Yeah, that's
He
him.
Yeah, like okay, so nobody else has been given a last name like since we've been learning people, like nobody. So I'm not worried that he doesn't have a last name, but I just had that thought where it was like it would be such a bummer to like go through it 1.5 times and then like die during threshing. Like that'd be sad.
Yeah.
What is this cover, and why is it also a circle? I'm just saying, I keep seeing circles.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Elena.
It's
Even
fly or die, okay?
even though it might give you hints about
It
major
kind of
plot
looks like an
points.
eye.
Oh, it does kind of. Yeah. I thought it was
Alright,
like the
guys.
sun above the clouds, but yeah. We're getting too close, Elena.
Any other thoughts before we end?
How
So that
close
you
are
guys
you, Jamie?
can read to the next section, which is 10 to 18.
No, I'm just
Is
excited.
this,
I really like
is
this.
this 4 parts? Are we doing this in 4 parts?
We are doing it 4 parts.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. I need to know when we're talking about it and if I can vent it tonight.
Tomorrow. Tuesday. All right.
I'd say yeah. I think I could do it in 2 days. I can prepare in 2 days.
Just in case, we're going to keep posting these on Mondays for you guys, just in case we fall behind with all the many books we're reading with everyone right now.
I will have this finished by tomorrow morning.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm kind of happy
okay,
for
maybe
you
not
in that
actually.
it tells me that you guys are enjoying this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that you wanna
it's
keep
crazy to me
going.
that you thought there was a world where we wouldn't like this book, Jamie.
I know. I just didn't want to set like really high expectations.
Yeah.
So I immediately regretted my response. I was like, no, lower your expectations.
Well, I have to say, I mean, like this book really has been like blowing up, and even before
It
like
has,
Iron
yeah.
Flame was coming out, like I mean, it was clear that people love this book, and like it had to have been for a reason. Like it could not have been just like all smoke and mirrors. And I think one of my favorite things about this book is it's like not pretentious. Like the writing is very accessible, the story is very accessible. It's just like it's written well, but it's not like, oh my goodness, like the lofty prose. It's just like it's just a good book.
Right. It was it's
I'm
easy
so
to
worried.
consume.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen all the stuff about like the writing in the next book not being very good?
No.
No, I have seen nothing about the next book.
Yeah.
Never mind. I take it back.
I'm trying not to look at anything. We're going through it together.
Yeah,
That
I haven't
will be
even
fun.
read like the summary. I don't know
I'm too afraid that it'll tell me what
happening.
happens in this one, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That'll be exciting though, because we will
Do a
all read
better
that
job
book for the first
avoiding.
time together.
Yes. I will make it my priority that we read it all together.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna speed through it. So, all right, we'll promise you guys that if we end up speeding through this and we can post the episode sooner, we will do it for you so that we can all read it together. But yeah, I'm loving this.
Yeah. And just shout out to the holiday edition of Fourth Way. It's beautiful.
I read 4
And it-
chapters of this book and was like, I need the red one. I need it.
right. Even
4 chapters.
You're committed.
Yeah.
Do you notice it was different inside
Sure
inside
did,
cover?
Jamie. I
Yeah.
sure did.
But to be honest, I like the math better.
I didn't want to look too closely at why it was different, just in case it could have had any sort of spoiler in it.
I don't think there is. It looks like it's just dragons and the silhouette or
Hmm.
the school.
Yeah. Yep.
But this edition also has like 2 bonus chapters. I think it's 2, right? At least one. There's at least one.
We'll read those at the end. We'll add them to the last episode. We'll give
Oh,
them to you
it's
later.
2. It's 2.
Perfect. I love me some bonus content. This was fun.
So, until next time.
Yeah. See you all later, guys. Bye.